Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jeanette, and in today's video I have 5 easy, refreshing summer drinks that you can make with tea. 2 of these are made with caffeinated teas, but you could of course substitute decaf or whatever herbal blend you might think would work with these. 3 of these are made with non-caffeinated herbal blends, but again, feel free to substitute whatever you like and whatever you think might work with these drinks. Some of these drinks were created out of necessity for myself because while I enjoy a sip or two of really good wine once in a while with dinner, I discovered a long time ago that I really am a lightweight when it comes to my tolerance for alcohol. So it's not something that I partake in very often, but when everybody else is enjoying their adult beverage, I want to be social too and have a drink in hand that not only tastes good but looks pretty. So I started experimenting with different teas and fruits and vegetables and herbs and seltzer waters just to see what I could come up with. So here's a few ideas for you that I'm going to share with you now in this video. For this first tea, I did a cold brew infusion. So I sliced 1 peach into a mason jar and then added some cold water, and I used an English breakfast tea bag and I just set that in the fridge overnight to infuse. I have my jar with a little ice ready to go, and I found some locally grown cherries that I thought would go really well in this blend. I sliced and pitted my cherries, and then I squeezed the cherry juice into the glass and put the cherries in there. Next, I just took a slice from a fresh peach and I ended up chopping up some of the peach and putting it into the tea and using a little bit to garnish the glass. I also took a small lemon wedge and I cut that in half, and I used half of it to juice into the tea and the other half for garnish on the rim of the glass. Then I just added my tea. I chopped up some of the fruit and threw that in there because I just felt like it needed a little bit more on top, and added my garnishes, and it was all set. For this tea, I ended up using a hibiscus elderberry blend, but you can use, I would think, any tea that brews up a nice, beautiful, either purple or dark red in color. And I just infused that in some hot water. I carefully poured the hot tea over some ice in a glass, and you can see it brews up a beautiful red color, which is a lot like red sangria to me. Then I had some locally grown strawberries, I had my cherries, and some orange. And I ended up just chopping up my fruit, getting the pits out of the cherries, and then I squeezed the cherries into the drink to get the cherry juice in there, and I also squished the strawberries a little bit to get the juice out of them and kind of mashed them up with my fingers, and I threw everything right into the tea. I poured everything into a wine glass, and I ended up adding some more crushed ice and chopping up some more of the fruit and adding that in. I also squeezed some of the orange wedges in there for some added flavor. And I often end up adding some sort of flavored seltzer water to a lot of my tea drinks, just to give it a little added flavor and some fizz. So this one is a mixed berry flavor, which I thought went really well with this. Then I just garnish the glass with some fruit, and I have a really pretty and tasty herbal tea sangria. Alright, this is a great tea, and I'm going to make some matcha to do this one. So I have a matcha kit, but you could just use any regular green tea you can find if you prefer. But I pour a little hot water into my matcha bowl to warm it up, and then I add my matcha tea and brew that. So I add my hot water to that, and then I use my whisk, and it makes a really frothy green drink. And this is how I blend my matcha up. If you guys are interested in where I got this kit and this particular tea, I will link that down below for you. So I have some ice in a glass, and I'm adding some fresh chopped cucumber. a little bit of fresh chopped mint, and I'm squeezing in a little bit of lemon juice as well. Then I carefully added my hot blended matcha to the ice in the glass, and I found I needed to add just a little bit more water to this. And then I just garnished it with a fresh mint leaf, and I garnished the glass with a slice of cucumber and a lemon wedge. For this tea, I wanted a really mild flavored tea with a nice golden color when it brewed up. So I have either chamomile teas or this lemon and ginger blend, which is the one I decided to use for this because I thought it would go really good with the other citrus juices. So I just brewed this up in a cup of hot water. I decided to sweeten this one up just a little bit, so I'm using some pure maple syrup. Then I took a slice from a lime, a lemon, and an orange, and I squeezed the juice of those into the tea, and I also put the fruits right into the tea. Then I carefully poured my brewed tea over the ice in the jar, and for some added flavor I decided to add a little bit of the mixed berry seltzer, which blended really well with the citrus flavor. Then I garnished the glass with a little piece of my orange, and this one was all done, and I have to tell you, this one was really refreshing. Alright, this next drink is not one of the tea cocktails that I've been making in this video, but it's just something fun. I'm going to brew up a tea that uses butterfly pea flowers. This is something I've found fairly recently, and you can buy them just by themselves like this. I also found them in a tea blend that I get from the local spicery, and it's called Wonderland. So it's got the butterfly pea flowers plus some extra herbs and spices in there, and it's just a really delicious smelling drink. Now the fun thing about these guys is they actually do brew up blue, but they're pH sensitive, so when you add an acid like citrus juice, it turns the infusion pink. So I just start with my tea infuser, and you can use any kind of tea infuser that you have. And then I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of this, plus a little bit more, it says, for the pot. And then I'm going to add my hot water. And I'm going to let that infuse for about 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm going to hold a paper towel behind it so you can see the color change happening. As you can see, we have a beautiful blue infusion right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into my container. I've got a little ice in there, and I noticed I do need to sweeten this up just a little bit. The tea by itself is a little bitter for me. So just adding a little maple syrup, and I'm going to put my infuser on top. And now for the magic. I have a little bit of lemon that I'm going to put in there, and I might even put a little bit of orange. So let's do this. And there is this really fun drink, and I think this tea blend smells really good. It has a lot of kind of like spicy and comforting aromas to it, and it tastes really good. So cheers. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the ideas in today's video. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you make any kind of drinks like this and what you put in them, and we can kind of share ideas that way. And I also like it when you just leave a comment to say hello as well. I like hearing from you guys. Don't forget to head on over to my website. I will put a link for that down in the description box below, because I did my first ebook. It's just a quick 15-page read. It's free on my website, and it's called A Life in Balance, and it is 10 tips for wellness and well-being. So if you pick that book up, let me know what you think of it. I just wanted to try my hand at writing, a little ebook before I go and do the big project of my cookbook, which is about 2/3 of the way done. I'm taking pictures for all the food now. All right, so that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.